Welcome to Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is celebrating our 20th anniversary of bringing you the Gulf Coast's finest chefs cooking their delicious recipes with natural gas. This show is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, clean, efficient, natural gas. And now, Coastal Cooking.
We have got some delicious Italian dishes for you today from Carrabbas Italian Grill. And joining me as my guest is proprietor Adam Molla and kitchen manager Jeremy Capps. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I am so excited because I've got a complete meal today. Appetizer, entree, and dessert. Tell us what you'll be preparing for us.
Well, we're going to have our mussels today. They're going to be in a lemon butter sauce. We've got a prosciutto wrapped pork tenderloin with a port wine fig. And we've also got a homemade cannoli today.
All three of my favorites. How about that? You hit it right on the nail. Well, we're going to get started, Jeremy, with our sauce for our pork.
Now, Jeremy's going to get started with our port wine fig sauce because it's a reduction. So we're going to start that first. He's going to add the wine in. We're going to start cutting up an apple.
What type of wine is this?
That's a port wine, and you could use any cooking wine, but the sweeter the better.
Okay.
It just makes for a better sauce. So right now he's adding about half that bottle of wine, and we're just going to dice up this apple just to add in there.
This is such a different sauce for pork. I think I'm going to like this.
It's a very rich sauce. You definitely can't go wrong with it.
And you can make it ahead of time?
Making it ahead of time is the best way to do it. The reductions take a little bit of time to make, so getting it done ahead of time definitely helps you out with putting it together. Jeremy, if you want to start adding everything else in there.
And Jeremy, tell us as you're adding it what the ingredients are.
The diced onions.
So diced yellow onions. He's got a veal demi-glaze he's adding in right now.
Can you buy veal demi-glaze?
You can.
Okay. Or you can make it?
Yes, you can make it or you can buy it. And it really just depends on how much you're using.
These are diced dried figs.
Diced dried figs, okay.
And those are easily found if you're looking at a fresh market or something like that.
Salt and pepper.
Perfect.
Let me come that way with this.
Yeah, sure.
And you're using Granny Smith apple here because it's a firmer apple.
And it just adds a good flavor to it. There you go. He's just going to add that on the heat. We want to reduce that down about 90%. And then afterwards, we're going to incorporate the butter, and we'll show you later on how we do that, keeping it at the right temperature and then building the sauce.
Okay. Sounds good.
So right now, we're going to start with our mussels with lemon butter. Jeremy's going to start with about an ounce of pomace oil, which is a cooking oil. And he's going to heat that up before we add anything to it.
You always want to get your oil hot.
Absolutely.
Right, before you start.
Yeah, you want to get that oil nice and hot before you start cooking anything inside of it.
Smoking and rippling off of the pan.
That's when you know it's ready, huh?
And the mussels that we're using, you can actually see this one right here is closing. So these are alive when you're cooking them. And you see how it's closing right there?
Yes.
So you'll hear them hiss even as you're cooking. You want to make sure that they're completely alive when you buy them. You want to make sure that they're all closing. If they're open and they don't close, make sure you throw them away. But make sure you clean them, pick through them before you use any of them. So that oil's probably ready. Jeremy's going to add the mussels in. You hear that sizzle. He's going to add some chopped garlic in here. About an ounce of chopped garlic. About an ounce of yellow onions. A little bit of salt and white pepper.
Here comes the aroma, right?
Oh yeah, well, it'll be just a second before we start adding everything else. We're going to let that simmer for just a minute.
Oh, with onion and
with
garlic.
the lid on it,
So
start
good.
to let everything kind of break down and the mussels start to open a little bit.
Perfect. And this has a lemon sauce over it?
This is going to be a lemon butter sauce that we're adding to it. We're going to add some fresh citrus and then some chopped basil and a little bit of butter in as well.
Now, you know, Adam, you're an Italian grill, Carrabbas, of course, but it's not just Italian food that you have.
Yeah, it's the Italian grill. So a lot of times people come to us and they think lasagna and pasta, but we have pizzas. We have a lot of great sautéed items and a lot of great items off the grill. And the pork loin that we're making today is going to be one of those items off the grill.
Steak. You got
Oh yeah,
steak.
yeah. We've got some terrific
mussels
steaks.
are
I
starting
think
to
we'd
open.
rival any steakhouse.
There they are. Boy, that
Someone
doesn't
hand up
take
the
long, does it?
The Pernod.
Oh, yep.
And Pinot is licorice liqueur?
It is. It's a French liqueur. It's got a licorice flavor to it, and it's got a terrific scent.
That's gonna
when
be
you cook
different.
with it. All right, so now he's just added the white wine in that Pernod. We're gonna let it cook for a little while longer.
Steam a little bit more.
Okay, that's just to really get those flavors in there.
Start
and-
melding
Absolutely.
together.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be good. Now, Adam, you, it's just natural for you to be at Carrabbas, isn't it? You're Italian.
Well, I've been at Carrabbas for a long time. This will be 12 years now. I've been at Carrabbas. Jeremy's about a decade now, so
Wow.
so we've been there for quite a while and moved around quite a bit with the company. But yeah, we love cooking, and that's I think what drew us both in there. We kind of grew up both doing the
Well,
same
your
thing.
dad was a chef.
He was. He just recently retired. He's been doing that since before he moved to the States, actually.
My goodness.
So.
Well, it just comes, like I said, it comes natural to you. And Jeremy, you were telling me you cooked on a submarine. I mean,
I did.
You've been cooking a long time and attended culinary school?
Absolutely. 20 years now, professionally, been making money doing
Well,
it.
you must have started when you were 2. She doesn't look that old.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, what was it like to cook on a submarine?
Small, tight quarters,
Uh-huh.
bunch of hungry guys.
Yeah. Were they picky? Were they picky eaters?
No,
Or you,
they eat about anything. I
It was too bad if they were picky,
guys, and
right?
We
'Cause you-
had the movies on the mess steak, so, you know.
because you're not
They
going to be
were
able
the
to run
place to
down to the
be.
grocery store and get them what they
Oh, no.
want, right? Well,
No.
that is neat. And you were telling me there are how many Carrabbas?
246 now.
My,
246
I had
Carrabbas.
no
We've
idea.
grown a lot over the years. About 30 years old right now.
I had no idea.
Now I've squeezed lemons into this, and I'm gonna add the butter to it as well now. And I'm gonna toss that in until it's nice and creamy.
And you want your butter in chunks?
Yeah, you
Just
want
help
to go
me
ahead and
out.
break it down into those cubes. You don't want to put, an entire stick of butter in. It's probably going to let everything overcook by the time you break it down.
Is it unsalted butter?
It's,
Yes.
Yeah, it's unsalted butter.
Oh, look at that. I see the sauce.
We'll go ahead and add some basil in there as well.
I'm gonna make sure that's going in at the end, otherwise it turns brown.
So that's going to have a little Italian flair to it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we'll slice some bread for it as well.
Let's do. We got to sop that sauce up, right?
Exactly.
And what
That's
type
the
of bread
best
is
part.
this?
This is a whole wheat multigrain Italian sourdough, actually. It's a mouthful to say.
It looks good. It's kind of a dense bread, isn't it?
It is, it's very dense bread. All right, Jeremy, how are those mussels?
We're delicious.
I love getting mussels at a restaurant
All right.
because I don't typically cook them at home, but I sure do love them.
Now you can smell that Pernod in there now.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That looks good enough to eat, gentlemen.
Well, we're gonna eat it.
Cannot wait. That looks great. Well, we've got pork loin to do
We do.
with our fig sauce, and it's prosciutto wrapped, right?
It's a prosciutto wrapped pork tenderloin. And then we're going to add that port wine fig sauce that we started reducing on top of it. And we're going to make a side of sauteed spinach with it.
Wow. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break.
Okay.
And we will start our entree when we get back. Hope you'll stay with us.
Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com. Cooking with natural gas is more controlled than using an electric range. But more importantly, they're less expensive to operate. Don't get burned with electric. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Did you know that BTU for BTU natural gas can be up to 50% cheaper than electricity? And did you know Pensacola Energy is offering rebates up to $1,000 when you switch from an electric water heater to natural gas? In the end, it's your money. You can put it in your pocket, or you can watch it go down the drain. Contact Pensacola Energy to learn how you can start saving now.
Heating water with electricity versus natural gas can cost twice as much, and tankless natural gas water heaters can add even more savings. So don't get soaked with higher energy costs. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Our next dish is a special entree from Carrabbas.
Yeah, we have the prosciutto wrap pork loin, and it's going to be topped with a port wine fig sauce. So what we've done is we've taken our prosciutto and we've layered it and shingled it across the cutting board, about 5 or 6 pieces, depending on the size of the loin. We've dried the loin and trimmed it, and by drying it, it's going to help that prosciutto stick to it better. So Jeremy's rolling it up. He's just going to wrap the whole loin in it. And now what we do is we're going to wrap it in cellophane, and we'd stick it inside the fridge for about an hour. That's what it looks like after it's sat for about an hour.
Okay.
And then...
Oh, and look, and tell everyone what prosciutto is.
So prosciutto is a thin Italian ham, and it's a little bit salty, but it's real thin, so it works well when you're grilling and wrapping things in it.
Yeah, and look how well it stayed.
So we've already sliced some up, and we have them right up here, because we want to make sure we let those sit for about an hour to make sure it all sticks.
Okay.
So Jeremy's going to go ahead and put a little pomace oil, salt and pepper, and go ahead and season all these.
So these are like little pork medallions.
They are.
I like them.
They are. You definitely want to, when you slice them a little thin, because you don't want to make them too thick. You want to make sure that it has time to cook all the way through.
Okay, and we're going to put these on the griddle today.
And then once we're done, we'll top it with that sauce, and we're going to make the sautéed spinach for the side item for it.
Perfect. I can't wait to taste the sauce. Very, very different.
Switch places.
Sure.
So this is just one of your entrees at Carrabbas. What is your most popular one?
I'd say the chicken brine is probably the most popular dish that we have. It's a chicken breast. It's topped with caprino goat cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, and basil, and a lemon butter sauce.
Oh, wow. Like the mussels and the lemon butter sauce?
Like the mussels.
Those mussels that we used to have?
That aren't here any longer, exactly. They didn't last very
I had
long.
to sample them during the break, but I'm telling you, that lemon butter is to die for.
Well, thank you.
Very, very good.
All right. Now, while those are grilling, Jeremy's going to go ahead and put together that reduction that we made earlier. Jeremy, if you want to show everybody what that reduction looks like. That's after we reduced it about 90%. So you can see most of the time it'd be a thick syrup.
That is very
And instead,
thick.
you see all those chunks that are inside there from the apples and the figs that we added in. So we're going to incorporate some unsalted butter to it. And we're going to build the sauce back, and that's what Jeremy's doing over there.
Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep this sauce from getting too hot or too cold by using the butter to keep it at a level temperature.
Okay. And you just whisk it in.
Yeah, you just fold that butter in, and again, it's just keeping that consistent temperature. You don't want to get it too hot, bring it to a boil, because you will separate the butter.
And that's not good.
No, the sauce definitely doesn't look attractive after that. So while he's doing that, we're going to go ahead and shave some garlic for our spinach that we'll be making. So we just want to slice that real thin. And it's about 1 clove out of the head per order generally.
Okay. Gotta have that
that's
garlic.
We've got our spinach here. And it's important with spinach to make sure that you're de-stemming it. A lot of times when you buy spinach in a store, it'll say de-stemmed, but when you get to it, you still have these pieces on there. And those are bitter, you don't want to cook with them. So just go through, make sure you've got everything picked clean.
And start out with a good amount of spinach, right, Adam?
Oh yeah, it breaks down quite a bit. It really begins to wilt once you get it on that heat. So you want to make sure that you've got plenty in there. In fact, we're going to make 2 sides, and you can see we've got 2 saute pans for it. So
Okay.
we're going to put about an ounce of extra virgin olive oil inside each of these pans.
Do 2 sides.
We're just going to bring that up. Again, making sure your oil's nice and hot before we add the ingredients to the pan.
Isn't it great cooking with natural gas?
It is, it is. It's definitely a lot more convenient than
You
using
can
electric.
see that flame and you can get your temperature exactly where you want it.
Perfect. Exactly. Yeah, if you really do cook, being able to see that heat that's coming out of it definitely helps out.
Looking
It's
good.
also an instant heat. As soon as you turn it on, it's hot. It's
And when
always
you
a good
turn it
thing.
off, it's off.
Yep.
You don't have anything that keeps cooking. So,
Exactly.
so many advantages.
Jeremy, how's that sauce look?
Delicious.
Why don't we show to everybody what that sauce looks? You can see how quick it is when you fold that butter in. It doesn't take too long at all. And again, you know, using the heat that's coming from that and the gas, it just comes together fast. So now he's turned the flame down. He's going to keep it kind of at a consistent temperature because he doesn't want to break the sauce. And you can just let it sit there, simmer for a little while in the meantime.
Okay.
So we're going to add
Looks
some.
good.
Oh yeah. So he's about halfway done with the pork as he's flipping it over. We're going to go ahead and add the garlic to the pan, and you can see it's already starting to cook inside here. So we'll add some spinach to each pan.
And this will take no time to cook.
It does not take long at all.
Salt and pepper. And remember when you're seasoning it, you're seasoning for a little bit, not the whole pan's worth. It looks like a lot more than it's going to be.
I think I told you the first time I prepared spinach, fresh spinach for company, and didn't realize how much it, you know,
Quickly you
cooked down.
end up with one side worth.
One of us ate spinach that night. It's certainly not enough for 4 people.
You can start to see the garlic browning right there. You want to get it brown. You don't want to make sure it gets black.
You don't
So
want
make
to
sure
burn
you
it.
toss
huh?
your spinach because it will get burned on one side if you don't move it around.
Just about good. Turn them off.
Yeah, let's go ahead and turn those off. All right.
Great.
How are you
Wonderful.
looking on the pork, Jeremy?
About medium right now.
Okay, so we'll let those cook for just a little bit
Do you
longer.
cook pork now? Can you cook it a little rare?
You can definitely undercook pork.
Okay, it's not the old.
And it's
Cook it.
particular kinds of pork as well. So, you know, USDA, you can cook your pork medium well, well done. It's whichever way you prefer, really. You don't have to go with well done always.
Okay. And you all have a great wine list that, you know, can
We
go
do.
with all of your dishes and your wine dinners.
We choose off those wine lists. We always have a wine dinner the third Tuesday of every month. And those are always something special. It's something a little bit more than what you normally get inside the restaurant. It's 4 to 5 different courses, and we pair a different wine with every course. And they're always a good time. We like to say, you know, you sit down with strangers and you leave friends.
That's right.
All right.
And can folks find out about your wine dinners on your website?
The wine dinners actually, they're part of the Amici Club. So if you go to Carrabbas.com and then you join our Amici Club, it's a tab right across the top.
Okay.
You pick our store location in Pensacola and you'll receive invites through the email.
Perfect. Well, we'll give everyone your website address.
Well, great.
www.carrabbas.com.
Carrabbas.com.
Can't be any easier than that.
No.
The Amici Club. We got to remember that. Look at this, Jeremy. Beautiful.
It's going to taste better than it looks, I promise.
You get a lot of pork with this.
Yeah, this might be a dish you share.
Look at that.
All right, now Jeremy's just going to put a little bit of that port wine fig sauce right over the top.
Oh.
And again, that's a very
Isn't
rich
that-
sauce.
Look delicious.
All right.
Jeremy, look at that. Beautiful. Well, you know what would be perfect with this is a special Italian dessert.
That's right. We've got cannolis coming up.
Okay, we'll start that right after this break. Stay with us.
Natural gas dryers may cost a little more than electric ones, but they dry clothes quicker, making them cost half as much to run. So now who's getting taken to the cleaners? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Did you know that BTU for BTU natural gas can be up to 50% cheaper than electricity? And did you know Pensacola Energy is offering rebates up to $1,000 when you switch from an electric water heater to natural gas? In the end, it's your money. You can put it in your pocket, or you can watch it go down the drain. Contact Pensacola Energy to learn how you can start saving now.
You have a choice. Energy that comes from burning dirty coal or energy from a clean, natural source. Pensacola Energy Natural Gas. You have a choice. A bulky electric hot water heater that runs out of hot water, or a sleek tankless water heater that gives you hot water for as long as you need it. Choose a natural gas tankless water heater and get up to $1,000 in rebates from Pensacola Energy. To learn more, call Pensacola Energy today.
Cooking with natural gas is more controlled than using an electric range. But more importantly, they're less expensive to operate. Don't get burned with electric. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
We are ready for our special Carrabbas dessert.
Yeah, today we've got cannolis, and Jeremy's going to be putting these together. It's a pretty simple dessert. You can make these at home. We've got mascarpone cheese to start with. It's kind of a thick, rich cheese. Looks a little bit like butter when he's putting it in, actually. And then we've got a whole milk ricotta cheese as well. And any dessert with cheese is a good dessert. You were
sure
telling me you
is.
love tiramisu, right? Yeah, we've got a great tiramisu at Carrabbas.
You sure do. And you'll find these two cheeses in a lot of Italian desserts.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of entrees as well. Jeremy's got powdered sugar right here. He's just going to add all that in. And he's going to add some vanilla extract. And that's about 1/4 teaspoon, so not much at all. You get a lot of flavor from that. Some cinnamon.
A little bit goes a long way with this as well.
And some semi-sweet chocolate morsels he's going to add right now.
And these are the little mini chips, huh?
Yeah, well, we're making small cannolis today. We're not going to use the large shells. And you can add a lot of different things or nothing at all, really, as far as the extra filling with the chocolate or dried candies. It's really up to you. It's whatever you want to put inside of it. So Jeremy's just whisking it all together, kind of folding out all the ingredients in. He's just going to try to make kind of a nice velvety texture. You don't really want to over whisk it, and you definitely don't want to under whisk it. You want to make sure everything's incorporated together.
And we like to take it and sit it in the cooler just like that pork tenderloin and let it rest for a little bit.
Right.
And those cheeses tend to firm up and get nice and more soft and solid. I've been whipping this and you see that the cheese is warmed up and it's a little soft on us.
So Jeremy's going to take his spatula now, he's going to put it inside a pastry bag. And if you don't have a pastry bag at home, you can use a Ziploc bag and just cut the tip of it off once you've put everything in and
Works
tied it
perfect.
together. Absolutely, yeah. Not everybody's at home with a pastry bag.
Right. And you can throw these away. And you said, Jeremy, that you can get the little pastries, cannoli pastries, buy those.
You can buy those pretty much at any grocery store in town.
So it's not like something you have to make.
And you can make them if you'd like,
Yeah, well.
but it's definitely, if you're going to do this at home and you're doing it for the whole family, it's a lot easier to kind of skip that step, get them pre-made, just keep them in an airtight container.
Yes, absolutely.
So Jeremy's going to start stuffing these, and then we'll top them afterwards.
Perfect. While you do that, Jeremy, I'm going to give everyone a telephone number. If you would like written copies of today's recipes, you can call Pensacola Energy at 436-5050, or you can visit our website, www.coastalcooking.com. So, Jeremy, you're going to pipe this filling into our little shells, and you've already done some for us.
I have.
How nice. And easy.
It's quick and easy.
It
It's probably the
is.
easiest dessert we have to make.
And then you're going to sprinkle the ends with some chopped pistachio nuts. How nice. While you do that, Adam, let's tell everyone where you're located and your hours.
Sure. We're on 311 North 9th Avenue, and that's on the corner of Gregory and 9th. And we're open at 11 a.m. daily for lunch. We serve till 3, and we're open till 10 p.m. on the weekdays and 11 o'clock on the weekends.
Perfect. And you do some catering.
We do. We do quite a bit of catering, actually. Lots of the office buildings, the hospitals.
Great. So if anyone wants to find out more about that, they can come to your website.
Absolutely. We've
call
got a
the
menu
restaurant.
on the website, or you can call. Our catering manager actually is Josh Grant, so we'll help you
Okay.
out with anything you need.
Perfect. And look at our dessert. What a way to finish a meal. I love that. Jeremy, you do. And you are the pastry cook there, right?
I've got a guy that helps me out with it, but we all do a little bit of everything there at Carrabbas.
You have to.
great.
That makes you well-rounded, right? That's great. Now, Adam, is there really a Carrabba family or a Mr. Carrabba?
There is. Johnny Carrabba and Damian Mandola, his uncle, actually started Carrabbas just about 30 years ago in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So
So
we've
that's where
grown
the
quite a
first
bit.
one was, and now there's how many all over the country?
246. Gosh. Yeah.
That is wonderful. We're so glad you're in Pensacola.
Well, thank
This
you. We're
has
glad
been
to be
so
here.
much fun. And to find out about your wine dinners, go to your website,
Yep, and it's the third Tuesday of every month, and join the Amici Club
the
off the
Amici
website.
Club. That's what we're looking for, is the Amici Club. And I've heard such wonderful reviews about your wine dinners.
Yeah, you'll have to join us for the next one.
Yes, they're the third Tuesday
Third Tuesday of every month.
of every month. Okay, sounds great, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
This has
having
been
us.
so much fun, and you will definitely have to come back
We'll
with more
definitely come
Carrabba
back.
recipes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, we hope you'll join us again next week because we'll have more coastal cooking.
This has been Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, clean, efficient natural gas. Join us each Sunday at 6 p.m. for more Coastal Cooking.